Fighting for freedom, liberty, and the restoration of the Constitution. The Patrick Riggins Show. Call in now at 865-243-8255. That's 243-TALK. And now your host, Patrick Riggins.
Welcome back to the Patrick Riggins Show. Our new time, Sunday afternoons, 2 till 3, right after 2 hours of no-show George Corda. He's usually there.
Well, Dennis said he's filling his time. He goes, 2 weeks a year and travels with a Village People tribute band.
Oh.
Dennis said that. I did not,
That is
George.
nice.
I did not say that. Dennis said that. I just thought it was very funny.
I didn't know they had somebody who wore a ballerina costume in Village People. Is that? Oh, that's something else he's doing.
Oh,
yeah.
Kidding, George.
He's going, can you move Patrick out from behind me again?
Right back to 4 if you don't care.
Yeah. Get him as far away from me as you can.
Now, George will be back next week. So.
This is Patrick Riggins with the Patrick Riggins Show. I have a kind of a different thing I'm going to get to on this segment. It's a story out of Honduras, and it's about a group of investors that have won approval from the Honduran government to build a private city on unoccupied land along the coast. Now, this city will have no taxes on income, no capital gains taxes, and no sales taxes. The only tax will be a property tax in agreement with the Honduran government. Now, the president of Honduras said he likes the idea of stating the city will bring a lot of investment into the country and be a center for many employment opportunities for our people. The laws in the new city will be separate from the laws in the rest of the country. The city's laws are going to be based on Texas state law because, as Michael Strong, he's the CEO of the MKG group, which is building the city, he states Texas law is very familiar to American business people and to Hondurans, since many have gone there or have family in Texas. It will be Texas law with more freedom of contract, meaning a more laissez-faire business condition, which will help fuel economic growth. Now, the only stipulation for businesses wanting to locate there is they will be required to employ a minimum number of native Hondurans. This requirement was imposed by the Honduran government to ensure the city also benefits the citizens of the country. To ensure independence of the city as well, the Honduran government agreed that a 2/3 majority will be required in the Honduran legislature in order to interfere with what is going on in the city. Now, the Honduran government notes that this is the first private city to be started in the country, but is definitely not the last. The bill to allow the creation of these cities passed their legislature by a vote of 126-1. Of course, there are some people protesting the building of the city by a private organization, stating they'll have free reign to raid the country's resources. I'm sure once this city gets started and becomes prosperous, then all of a sudden they'll have all sorts of people and groups showing up with their hands out. The NKG group said the plan is not to take advantage of the country's natural resources, but rather to attract entrepreneurs using good laws and low taxes. Mr. Strong, the CEO, the guy that's starting it, cited Hong Kong as a city that has prospered under this same model. Before, Hong Kong's poverty was roughly the same as Africa's. Today, it's one of the wealthiest places on the earth. It will be really interesting to see how this place flourishes under this type of leadership and what, if any, of our politicians take note of and use to fix our broken economic model. Probably not, though. I don't think any politician, save maybe a few, wants to lower taxes and give freedom and liberty back to the citizens of this country. They are only too happy to hold on to the rights they have stolen from us. They're not going to give them back unless they absolutely have to. And that will be when we, as American citizens, demand their return. Unfortunately, we are just not there yet. There aren't enough inconveniences for people to take note and want to change things. We have a large population of sheep in this nation of ours. Too many people are not ready to make the changes needed to be made. They are happy to sit back and watch football, watch sitcoms, watch anything other than have to think about what is happening to this country. Because to do so would be an acknowledgement to themselves they are partly responsible. By sitting around and not doing anything about the daily loss of freedom and liberty in this country, they are helping to bring it about. To cover up their ignorance, though, they bow to the media and robotically repeat the ideas and theories they hear on the news each night, or catch as they are lulling themselves off to sleep with the television on. By joining in with the supposedly smart people on television, they are less likely to endure ridicule for their beliefs, because what they are spouting out is exactly what everyone else heard on the news the night before as well. This is where a mind-numbing groupthink starts to happen. And don't think the government isn't all too happy to have you marching in lockstep with everyone else. They love putting everyone into one big, happy group of workers for the state. That's what you are, you know, a worker for the state. When it takes you 4 months to pay your taxes, known as Tax Freedom Day, look it up if you haven't heard of that, but 4 months to make enough money on average to pay your taxes, then yes, you are a tax slave, a worker for the state. Now, you may say, hey, I own everything I have. I hate to tell you this, but you really don't. You are only in a quasi-lease agreement with the government. Decide not to pay your property taxes and see how long you get to stay on, quote, your land. You think you own your income? Nope, you're wrong again. Your income is what the government lets you keep. Look at your pay stub sometime when you aren't too busy yucking it up with your coworkers while the government is bleeding you dry this whole time, and you'll see the government gets first crack at your paycheck. They take money out before you even get to hold it in your hand. Why is that? Because if the government gave the money to you, you wouldn't do what the government thinks you should with it. Therefore, it has to take it from you before you get a chance to blow it on something it considers stupid. Well, at least I have my body, you may say. Nope, government owns that too. Don't believe me? Try to enter into a private contract to sell one of your organs to someone else needing it. You can't. That's illegal. You cannot make money off your body except in the ways government deems appropriate. Oh, sure, if you donate your organs, everyone else makes money on the transportation and implementation of your organs, but you can't. Now, does that sound fair to you? Suppose you want to go to an employer and offer to work for them for a wage under the minimum wage. Can't do it. Let's get even more creative. Suppose you have a nice, fit, tan body, like Tori.
Thank you. I knew you were going to say that.
So suppose you have that fit, tan body, and someone wants to hire you for personal services.
Oh, you say fit?
Fit.
Oh, I thought you said something totally.
Oh, yeah. But say you've got this great body like Tori has, and someone wants to hire you for personal services. Well, you can't do that, except in a few certain heavily regulated places.
And so, I would know.
Yes. No. Tori has to go to Vegas twice a year just to, work.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah, but the money comes home with you.
Well, I don't pay in taxes.
I don't think they tax you on that.
Oh, in Vegas they do.
Oh, yeah. Well, that is true.
Actually, they do.
So the point is, you don't own any of this. You're not even free to abuse your own body except in ways allowed by the government. Alcohol, okay. Smoking, okay, but they'll make it hard to afford to do it. Using a drug, which the government has decided is against the law, nope, can't do that. So, if you cannot make money off your body and abuse it however you want without interfering with someone else's rights, then you don't own your body. And if you don't, then who does?
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes. For the answer to that, just ask who is restraining you. It is the government. Therefore, the government owns your body. You are only allowed to do things the way the government wants them done, even if it restricts your freedom and liberty. The government comes before you nowadays, whereas it used to be the other way around. All right, we're up on the last break here on the Patrick Riggins Show on our new hour. This hour goes just as fast as the other one does. So we'll be back after this break, and we'll talk a little bit about USAID being kicked out of Russia. Join us here in a couple of minutes.